Hey, I'm Charlie Pittman and I'm here chatting with Milky. So track 1 is Death Row, which is the first song I wrote for the EP. I actually wrote the EP in order of the track list, and it all is chronological order of my life as well. So Death Row was written in London 2 years ago before I moved to Australia. I knew I was moving to Australia, and I was in a relationship, and we kind of knew the relationship was having to end, so I could move to Australia. And so it's a song about those unsaid conversations that you know that you need to have. And I feel like that kind of locked in the sound for the EP. It has kind of a rocky surprise in the chorus, and then kind of builds the dynamic towards the end as well. Track 2 is The Come Down, which was the first single for the EP. When we first played this live, I knew I kind of wanted to center the sound of the EP around this, kind of going off Death Row as well with the heavy guitars. The Come Down was something I wrote in Sydney. It started, like most ideas, in my bedroom, and I was kind of in a place of kind of numbness, and that's where that song came from. It's very open and very raw, but I feel like it is still hopefully relatable. I think there's a lyric in the song which is I'm either feeling it all or nothing, which is very me. I'm either super dramatic about everything or just not feeling anything at all. Track 3 is Casual, which kind of follows the end of the story of The Come Down. It's kind of about that emotional unavailability thing we go through. I think in relationships as well, I'm either super in something or I'm not in it at all, and I think Casual's just about kind of wanting that connection but not being able to have it. And it's one of the only songs I didn't write with any producers or anything. I wrote it with my friend Jess just in my bedroom. So then when we took the song to Nashville to record the song, we really built it out. So the original demo is just a voice memo, and then the full track kind of brings it to a dramatic high point. I think it's actually one of the songs I prefer. I think is a really fun one to sing live because it starts off so subtle, and then by the end we kind of have the full band involved. But yeah, I think that's like a dark horse on the EP potentially. Mouth on My Sleeve, which is, again, like I said, it was chronological. So I wrote this one after Casual, when I kind of first started getting feelings for someone else. And it's a song about a lot of different things. It's a song about kind of saying to someone, hey, take me at face value and try and forget past relationships and just take me for what I am. It's also about kind of just saying to someone, hey, I wear like my heart on my sleeve, my mouth on my sleeve. You will see whatever you see from me is exactly what you get from me. But it's the most experimental song on the EP, and I think we just had a lot of fun with experimenting with sounds. I like EPs and projects that aren't all just kind of this one sonic world. I feel like it is interesting to kind of reach out, especially on songs that aren't singles, and kind of play with different sounds. And yeah, this is heavily inspired by bands like the 1975, where you look at albums, they have like Notes on a Conditional Form, where they just go genre to genre to genre, and I feel like that's something I wanted to do with this project as well, and especially this song. So yeah, it was super fun. I think John, who produced the song, had the most fun with this song as well. So track 5 is Think Later, and this song intentionally links exactly into Think Later. So if you were playing the songs track by track by track, this one blends straight into Think Later. And I think I wanted to do this because it's about the same relationship, and it's kind of going from those initial phases of relationship into something a little bit more deeper in connection. But it's about kind of realizing that you're with someone who maybe you shouldn't be with, or maybe it isn't the most natural pairing, but just kind of throwing yourself like headfirst into it, maybe not listening to your head so much, and just, even if it is a mistake, just kind of going with the flow. Yeah, acting first and thinking about it later. How I Feel wraps up the EP. It kind of takes us back to where we started with Death Row, kind of in that limbo phase of relationship where you're not sure where things are sort of going to go. It's the last song I wrote for the EP. I wrote this one in Nashville, and it was a nice full circle moment to then go back to Nashville to record this song a few months later. But yeah, I think this one's become a bit of a fan favourite, which is cool. I think this is the song that I'm most excited to come out. We've got a really cool music video with this one as well, which we shot on film. Yeah, it's a song I'm really, really proud of. But yeah, it's a song about yeah, like I said, being in limbo and having that anxious kind of feeling take over your whole body. How I Feel ends with this motif that we start at Death Row at. So if you listen to this EP and then started again at Death Row, it would link kind of like in a full cyclical way, which I think is interesting. It's essentially it's like a year in my life of relationships, basically, and it starts how it finishes, really. I think I learned that it's okay to be by yourself. I think I'm someone who loves love, and I love the feeling of being in something or yearning for someone. And I think I learned that it's okay to kind of take that time for yourself so that you don't ruin other relationships and so that you know what you really want going into other relationships. And I think musically I learned a lot about myself as well. I think I took a lot of inspiration from kind of older references as well, which I think helped me kind of craft a more original sound, I think, as well, because I think it's really useful to look at references from stuff that is coming out at the moment, but it's also really good to look back a little bit older and take inspiration from that as well. I feel like over the last year I have played a lot more shows and I've kind of locked in on what the sound of the next project is going to be like. So I feel like this feels even more cohesive than the last EP and is even more kind of tailored for the live shows as well. It's one of those things where like I feel like to write these songs I do kind of spill my heart, and I spill a lot of intimate details about relationships, about other people. I definitely get messages from people being like, why did you write that about me? Which is not super fun for them, I guess, or even for me. But I think it's also made me a more open person in real life as well. I kind of do have this habit of oversharing with people. I'd love to be a little bit more mysterious, and I just don't think I can do that in my songwriting though. So I have to bear it all, and everyone knows everything about my life, I guess. People have written songs about me. And if they're good, I'm just like, yeah, fair, like, banger, great song, which has happened a few times. I'm like, I can't even fault this. This is a good song. I think I only get insulted when I hear a song written about me, and I'm like, that kind of sucks. Which has happened. The songs that are the most introspective songs are the songs that I wrote in Sydney in my bedroom, interestingly. And then the songs that have maybe the more emotional, I don't know, feel like a more dramatic thing are songs that are written outside of my comfort zone, I guess. They're written, like Think Later and How I Feel were both written in Nashville when I was kind of going through it, but also being in that creative space where you're with I was with some amazing co-writers and producers out there, and I feel like that pushes me to want to kind of push boundaries, I guess. And then, yeah, Death Row I wrote in London. I think, yeah, all these different places have their cultural differences, and I think that helps maybe create an EP that is a little bit more diverse as well than if I wrote all 6 songs in my bedroom in Sydney. I think maybe it would sound a little bit samey. But yeah, I love going to Nashville to write. I think that this was the first time I went to Nashville to write. I've been to LA a couple of times, but going over to Nashville and writing with some of my favourite bands and artists really helped create the EP that I wanted to make, I think. I think I took inspiration from a lot of kind of older bands like Radiohead, The War on Drugs, but then also solo artists like Bon Iver. I think there's a lot of vocal processing that you can hear, which is kind of in that Bon Iver world, and especially the way that we kind of used acoustic guitars in the tracks as well. But a lot of that comes from John, who produced the EP. I think I worked with John because I wanted to work with John for 2-3 years. He has done a few records with an artist called Abby Holiday, and I was just such a fan of the way in which they crafted those songs. And I wrote Think Later with Abby, and then she did backing vocals on all 6 songs. So I think that informed a lot of the choices I made as well. Taking from those slightly older bands and everything kind of being organic as well, I think helped make this EP kind of what it was. We have some awesome support acts for this tour. We've got Pretty Bleak, Sam McGovern, By Jay, Effie, Repeater, who are a new band. They're really cool. Eliani. We've got some amazing support acts. We always, as a band, try and dress in a fun way as well, so look out for some fun outfits as well. I've also got a little bit of set design for this tour as well, so we've got some cool lighting, which I think will just help lift the shows. I love the shows that are just like people just standing on stage and doing it, but also being able to lift it and make it feel like a bit more of a live experience, I think just elevates the songs as well and makes it feel like you've come to see a proper show as well. So I think, yeah, you can expect a show that hopefully you can talk about afterwards and provide some conversation. I feel like I made a lot of these songs with live in mind, and so it will just be a slightly elevated version of the songs from the EP, which will be super fun. I feel like I have an amazing band with me who make these songs just kind of have a whole new kind of lease of life when we play it live, but also being able to sing these songs and have people know the words. And we've done a few of these songs live already. We've been playing Death Row live for almost 2 years now, and having people kind of sing these songs back kind of help elevate these songs as well. But yeah, I'm super excited to see the reaction to a lot of the new songs as well. So yeah, that'll be fun. Jeremy Zucker, the band Camino, Ryan Beatty, Medium Build, John Mayer, all those guys. Maybe an Aussie artist, maybe like Phoebe Go. That could be cool. Love Is Not Dying, Jeremy Zucker, which has influenced this EP a lot in the way it's kind of crafted. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I would make a really fun soundtrack to that would make people cry. I'm thinking, are people having fun? Am I going to fall over? And am I going to smack any of my band in the face with my guitar? Hannah Montana. Pretty Medium Build at Oxford Art Factory. Spice Girl. Lanky Spice. But also Sporty Spice. Sporty Lanky Spice. Let's keep it Aussie as well. Let's do like the Enmore. That could be really fun. Maybe The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Or what else? Angels by Robbie Williams. Probably opening for the band Camino in Perth last February. Camp Rock. I love the sound. Like Camp Rock and Camp Rock 2. I think Camp Rock 2 is underrated. Addison Rae. I don't know. Vasili. My current advice would be to just enjoy the moment, and not in like a cringy way, but like think of how far you've come and just be grateful for what you're already doing. It's really basic, but maybe like normal people, because I think it's better than the TV show, so that's why I'd recommend it. Ode to a Conversation Stuck in Your Throat by Delwater Gap. I feel like I could listen to that song anywhere, any place, and it has the exact same experience on me.